Crypto dough. Now, welcome on into another episode. And I wanted to talk about now. This just made way today, right? It's a Ripple co-founders $150 million XRP heist related last pass hack, Zach XBT. Now, this is driving the XRP price down, but I'm here to tell you guys that this is old news. This didn't happen yesterday and or today. It said March 8th, which is actually today. This did not take place today. This was something about a couple of years back, let's just say 2022, over 3 years ago, and they just found out. They traced everything and they just found out and they reported the update today. So let's not get confused. Don't let them shake you out your bag. But before I get into this, smash that like button, leave those thoughts down below, subscribe to the channel, get me to 10,000 subs. That's all I ask. We're going to read something from, I believe this is from coindesk.com. I'm going to leave I'm going to leave this in the description as well. So all you got to do is go to the video, check out the description, and it's going to be titled underneath source so you could have a receipt of where I'm reading this from, right? Ripple co-founders $150 million XRP heist related to LastPass hack. What's LastPass? Now, LastPass is one of these storage mechanisms and or these where you can have your crypto at. And you know it's supposed to have seed phrases, right? And you use that as far as another security measure in order to store your crypto safely, right? Well, LastPass got hacked and he had his seed phrases on LastPass. So they got hacked, which then revealed his seed phrases. That's why it's good. My advice is to keep your seed phrases offline because if it's not online, the chances of you getting hacked is 0 to none. If it's online, the chances of you getting hacked actually increases, right? Let's continue. Okay, updated March 8th. Let's see what they're talking about. What to know? A $150 million theft from Ripple co-founder Chris Larson, right? Wallet was traced back to a security lapse at password manager LastPass, according to a forfeiture and complaint filed by the U.S. law enforcement. The hackers accessed Larson private keys stored in LastPass, and LastPass is an actual service. My thing is, why would you store your private keys in LastPass? LastPass to me, though they guarantee some of these institutions guarantee protection, there's no such thing. Don't y'all see what happened to Bybit the other day? How everything was fine and the user actually a hacker actually logged into their interface and they make their interface look like it was something that was normal, but when they checked it out, it actually went to the wrong address. So you got to be extremely careful, but learn from this. Never leave your seed phrases online at all, no matter if a service guarantees protection, anything along that nature. Never leave your seed phrases up to others because those are the keys. Why would you leave your keys to your doors and then you wonder why you don't have access or someone else has access to walk in and out, right? That don't make any sense. Think about it like that. Okay, the hackers accessed Larson private keys stored in LastPass, which had suffered a major breach in 2022. Listen to the date. 2022, they had a breach. It is now 2025, and they are reporting on this as if this had happened today. Don't let them shake you out your XRP because they will, leading to the theft of encrypted customers' password vaults and unencrypted metadata from an estimated 25 million users. The fallout from LastPass hack continues with crypto losses connected to a breach estimated to be at least 250 million as of May 2024. A $150 million theft targeting Ripple co-founder Chris Larson had been traced back to a security lapse involving a password manager LastPass. This is a password manager, but yet he left his seed phrases on these things. I wouldn't trust anything called a password manager. The only person that's supposed to manage your passwords are you. Is you. No one else. No one else. Because now you're putting yourself at risk and you're supposed to be able to mitigate your risk, right? Leave a one down below if you believe that you would leave your password upon someone else's entity control to control. Leave a two if you don't mind leaving your password with someone else. You give them all the trust in the world. Leave a three if you understand that that don't make any sense at all, no matter if they have a business module around it or not. Right? Unless they guarantee 100% of your customer satisfaction, and then another 100% for everything that you had in your wallet, it will be insured. Then it's no way. Then there's no point. According to the forfeiture complaint filed by the U.S. law enforcement on March 6, flagged by blockchain sleuth Zach XBT. Zach XBT shared that the complaint detailed how Larson's private keys or code to access one's token holdings were stored in LastPass, the widely used password manager that suffered a major breach in 2022. At the time, the hackers stole source code and technical data by compromising a developer's account. By November of that year, they used this access to infiltrate a cloud storage system, stealing encrypted customer password vaults and unencrypted metadata from an estimated 25 million users. Although the vaults were encrypted, weak or reused master passwords could be brute force exposing stored data. Listen to that. Hackers exploited this vulnerability, accessing Larson keys and siphoning off the XRP valued at 150 million at the time of the theft and over 600 million as of Saturday's pricing. So they had to get this. Wow, 2022 Bitcoin. XRP was currently at about what 30-40 cents. Right now, it's about $2.50. So let's just say that's a 1x, 2x, 3x, 4x. That's about a 4x. So it went up 4x, therefore $150 million times 4 is currently about $600 million. That kind of makes sense, right? But you got to use these things as lessons, learning curves. It's not a loss if you don't learn a lesson out of it. If you don't learn a lesson, it's considered a loss, right? Because we live and we grow. A forfeiture complaint filed yesterday by U.S. law enforcement revealed the cause for the $150 million, which is 283 million XRP hack of Ripple co-founder Chris Larson wallet in January 2024 was the result of storing private keys in LastPass password manager, which was hacked in 2022. Zach ZBT wrote on his Telegram channel. Up to this point, Chris Larson had not publicly disclosed the cause of the theft. He added. Larson confirmed the incident in January, where he clarified the hack affected only his personal accounts, not Ripple's corporate wallets. You listening to that? This was his own personal account. It wasn't even on Ripple's behalf. It's just the fact that he's one of the CEOs of Ripple, so of course Ripple's going to get the publicity, even if it's negative publicity, right? He is yet to publicly commented on the forfeiture notice. Now, the thing about the forfeiture that I notice is the United States say that they don't own any XRP, right? But with this forfeiture, it means that they would have at least $150 million worth of XRP, now ranging from $600 million. So to me, they already have it, and then we already know. Let's see what they're going to do about this settlement that they have to do. That's what we must see. Let's see what's going on with the settlement, right? The fallout from 2022 LastPass hack has been extensive and remained ongoing. In December, the Security Alliance, the SEAL, a team of cybersecurity experts, one moment, apologize. A team of cybersecurity experts focused on the crypto market estimated the crypto losses connected to the breach had touched at least 250 million as of May 2024. Okay. Excuse me. Seasons are switching. Okay, so we did that one. Let's get off that and let's go to another. And this is about the XRP now that was allegedly, hypothetically, um, XRP got hacked. XRP didn't get hacked. LastPass got hacked. Let me repeat. LastPass got hacked, and one of the CEOs of XRP, Wallace, was obviously on LastPass and his seed phrase, which to me that was premature. But anyway, learn from this. Never leave your seed phrases to anyone to manage but you. Point blank. Point blank. All right, let's stop sharing that and let's go to. I want to go to another article, right? Because they had a little bit more detail on this article. And this is Coin Telegraph. This is Coin Telegraph. I'm going to copy and paste that. Let's put that inside of the sourcing as well. All you got to do is check out the description on the page and you will see the sourcing where I gathered this information. That's the receipt right there. It has now been uploaded. Okay, Ripple co-founder Larson 150x XRP theft linked to LastPass breach. The LastPass hack have been linked to at least 450, not 450, 45 million in crypto thefts as of December 2024. The January 2024 theft of 283 million XRP, these numbers, they are quite so different on each platform. But anyway, from Ripple co-founder Chris Larson personal accounts has been linked, excuse me, has been linked to a password manager breach, according to a forfeiture compliance filed by U.S. law enforcement revealed by crypto investor Zach XBT. XBT. The investor shared a screenshot of the forfeiture compliant in his Telegraph channel on March 7, claiming that the theft was the result of storing private keys in the LastPass password manager, which was hacked in 2022. According up to this point, Chris Larson had not publicly disclosed the cause of the theft. According to the share compliance, Larson private keys were stored in the online password manager before being destroyed. 4 devices were enabled with the password manager, which had a long, unique password. The password manager LastPass suffered 2 major breaches, one in August 2022 and the other in November 2022. So that's right back a couple of months after, where the attackers stole encrypted passwords and online password management vaults data, according to the U.S. Federal Bureau of Investigation, which investigated the cause and compromised data was used to steal crypto, among other things. This is Larson quote right here. He said, yesterday there was unauthorized access to a few of my personal XRP accounts, not at Ripple. We were quickly able to catch the problem and notify exchanges freeze the affected addresses. Law enforcement is already involved. So Zach Z, this is what I want. Why I wanted to read you guys this article to show you the tracing of it. Right, the XRP hack against Larson, Zach XBT traced the tokens across several crypto exchanges, including Mexi, Gate.io, Binance, Kraken, OKX, ATX, HitBTC, and others. As Cointelegraph reported, the LastPass hackers had stolen over $45 million. Okay, you guys can read the rest of that. I left that in the description, but I wanted you guys to see exactly what was going on with that, right? Show you guys exactly what was going on with that. Now let's go to I also wanted to describe in this one. Let's go to Bitcoin. Actually, let's go to XRP to see what the current price is first before we get off this topic. What is the current price? Because XRP went down. Let's go to coin market cap. As you guys can see, XRP is now at $2.31. XRP is at $2.31. And let's just see, the volume is down by 60% at $3.19 billion. Y'all already know the market cap. In 7 days, it's up 3%. In 1 month, it is down 1.2%. In a year, it's up 269%. So we did a roughly about a 2.5x. Okay, now that's that. I wanted to go into, let's talk about Bitcoin, because I did a couple of graphs earlier, right? And I wanted to talk about Bitcoin. This is the graph that I did earlier, and I wanted to talk about Bitcoin, right? Now, as you guys can see, I just did a quick graph from the highs at the top to the bottom before the breakout path. So we have something at about 73,000. Okay, let's consider that about support. And then we have 108,000, which is considered, that's the highest that it got to, correct? So this is the channel that it may be trading in. Now we're going to do, as far as draw a damn near triangle from the highest point and then where it start dipping off. This is basically the channel right here. This is the channel right here. So to me, this looks like a down. This looks like a channel that's going down, right? And come all the way down to $72,000. So I did a line to let you know, okay, this is the percentage right here. I believe this was at a it can do a 13% drop from where it's at right now. About a 13% drop, that's 13,000, roughly about $13,540. It could do that. Or it could do the total opposite. And from that point, it can go back up to, let's just go from the top of that to about 105, 104, where it's at, right? 104, 105 from where it's at. I think based on the settlement that we may be, it's a most likely chance that we're headed down rather than up. That's just my opinion, but you never know. That's just my opinion based on the graph, based on the charting, right? Based on the graph, based on the charting, that's my opinion. And we all know what happens in the whatever happens to Bitcoin happens to the rest of the market. No, we had this Bitcoin reserve and people didn't really get what they was asking for. The government will print money, but it won't be on the taxpayers' back. So that means it's going to be some form of, I believe that either they're going to begin to start selling gold for Bitcoin, because once the Bitcoin get audited, once the gold get audited, uh that's kind of a process. They haven't been audited in so long. That may be the problem. Bitcoin is audited every 10 minutes. So we have something called a blockchain, which means that the world can actually see that, hey, X amount of Bitcoins are here, right? So I think that either they put a one in the chat if you believe they're going to sell gold in order to get some form of, because they can't directly print money to add to the deficit. They have to figure out genius ways in order to buy more Bitcoin. They say they're not buying any more altcoins, right? Or they never bought any altcoins, but they plan on using Bitcoin as a strategic reserve. So put a one in the chat if you believe that they're going to use gold. They're going to sell some gold in order to get some cash in order to buy, convert that and buy Bitcoin. Put a two in the chat if you believe that they're going to use the stockpile that they already have of some of these altcoins to then buy some Bitcoin. Or put a three in the chat if you believe maybe perhaps they may use Doge in order, the Department of Government Efficiency, in order to then purchase and buy Bitcoin based on the money that they, some of the money that they save. Maybe some go to the citizens, and then the other, the leftovers or whatever number that they congregate on, then they plan on using to then invest. So they plan on saving the US dollars money, people money, and then invest it into the US by using the Doge reserves or what's left over from the money that's being spent in a manner that's underrepresented, right? So let me know what you guys think. Just giving you a quick update on XRP. Also giving you a chart update because I said I was going to start giving you charts, right? So giving you a chart update of what I think that's going on in the market. That's brought you by Trader View. And the way I see it is we can go down from where we're at right now at the bottom of that channel. You're at about 70,000. Let me see, at the very, very bottom of the channel, you're at about 68,000. 68,000 can go all the way down to that, or, yep, 68,000. Let me move that line a little bit. It's about 68,000. But this at the top of that, it actually start breaking out at that point, about 68. So from that point, it can go, yep. But we're currently in a downtrend. If you just zoom out, we're currently in a downtrend for the immediate short term. Now, if you're just look at that leg up, it's like Bitcoin just tore from 68,000. It just tore all the way up. We need some form of retracement. So you guys can see that from that angle. I want you guys to see it from that angle, right? We need some form. Sometimes you got to zoom out. Right. On that note, subscribe to the channel, smash that like button, get me to 10,000 sub, hit those links down below. In fact, let me make sure that I pin that link to the top of the chat. I wanted to make sure I pinned the link to the top of the chat. This is how you guys can actually support the channel. Let me make sure we can pin that link to the top of the chat. Okay. I want to pin the link to the top of the chat. The graph that you see down below is the Bitcoin graph. And to me, we are in an immediate downtrend. That's what it's looking like. It can pop out of this. It can pop out of it. But the way I see it is, I already did the chart, I already did the graphing. We can go down by 13% from that point, or we can literally go up from this point. From that point, the top of that, we could, let's just see the breakout point right there. We can hit about roughly about 104. The top of the channel is going to be 108, but let's just say we can hit about 104, 104,000. If we go up, likelihood is that we're going to go down before we even see an up. We will go down. That's just my opinion. That's my opinion. Not financial advice. That's just my opinion. XRP hacked explain. XRP hacked explain. I explained it at the beginning of the channel. So run this video. The beginning of the video. So you guys can run the video back so you can see exactly what I said about how they're talking about XRP as if XRP got hacked and Ripple got hacked. XRP and Ripple did not get hacked. Now, Chris Larson, he had something, his password was in LastPass, right? And LastPass, if you guys know, that's a management service, which I don't advise for you to put your seed phrases on any management service. I don't really think that's adequate. And he learned his lesson. That's it. Didn't lose. He just learned the lesson. That's it. All right, so I pinned that to the top of the chat. That's all I wanted to do. I appreciate you guys so much for stopping on by. Put on your seatbelts, crypto dough. It is time to take off in 5,